Okay, well, I'd like to welcome all of you for another Words of Wisdom with Arnon on a Wednesday. So, excited to be here with all you guys. Today we've got an amazing session, quick, short, to the point, give you guys some meat and potato value so you can start to think bigger, play a bigger game, and make more impact. So for those of you who know, or for those of you who don't know, my name's Arnon Barnes. I have been blessed. I have built several businesses, sold several multi-million euro, multi-million pound companies in the past. And I've had the privilege and the pleasure to teach and train all over the world. I've trained probably coached around 120, maybe 140,000 people from around 65 different countries. So I share that because I know I've got a lot of, new listeners, new followers, and some amazing people who've just connected with me over the last few weeks, the last few months, over the last few years. And so I just want to set the context for this talk, this live session. And this live session, and we're going to give everyone a moment to connect. We've got Instagram in the house. We've got Facebook in the house. By the way, if you guys can hear me loud and clear, just give me a thumbs up. Just give me a thumbs up if you're hearing me, if you're connected, so that I know that my sound is on well and that everything is working. So yeah, just give us a thumbs up. Seth, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Okay, very good. Kyle's in the house. Fantastic. Great. So guys, today's topic is how to go to 100 million, and what are the two single most important questions that I believe you should be asking yourself. Okay? So how to go to $100 million, 100 million euros, 100 million pounds, right? And what are the two single most important questions that you need to address, you need to question yourself, you need to answer? And I'm going to share with you these two questions in a moment. So before we begin, just a quick little bit of a background story. So I've built businesses in the past, I've sold businesses in the past, and I actually achieved my financial freedom at the age of 28. So that was a few years ago before I had some snow on the mountain, right? But I've built businesses. I've always been an entrepreneur, primarily because I was a school dropout. I never finished school. I never went to, I didn't go to university. I didn't go to college. I don't have any degrees, none of that stuff. I always call myself a street fighter because that's kind of where I came from, right? I came from the street. Right? I built myself up from nowhere. No rich daddy, no rich mommy. Nobody gave me the, $1 million check and go son, make it happen. No, I didn't have any of that, right? So I don't want to say I'm a self-made man because I don't really believe in being a self-made man, because I believe that on our journey there are teachers and mentors and coaches and angels that we meet that guide us and move us to our next level, especially when you come from the energy of light, when you approach life as a warrior of the light. You're here to do good, you're here to add value, right? So angels show up. But having said that, I came from nowhere and I've built several multi million euro companies, sold them, exited them, achieved my financial freedom at a relatively young age. Now, I'm not saying this to impress you, but I'm sharing this to impress upon you how I am now playing, in my perception, even a bigger game. And these two questions are very important, but I want to give you the backstory. How did I get to these two questions? Chantal is in the house. Very cool. So, I was, a few years ago, about 4 years ago, I was in Singapore. This is before the pandemic and all this bullshit. I flew out to Singapore. I flew out to Asia to teach, to train. I had, maybe 800 students waiting for an event, and I was one of the trainers to teach them over a 4 or 5 day program. And we did an amazing job, and we taught this program, and they got tremendous value. And the organization that represents me, they've got an office in Singapore. And the owner of the company asked me to go to dinner with him one evening after the event. Great gentleman. Actually, I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro with this gentleman in 2016. And before we climbed Kilimanjaro together, we also worked in an orphanage, and we did some amazing things in Tanzania, right? So I have a great relationship with him, and he's the owner of the training company, the largest training company in the world for business development and personal development. So when he said, listen, why don't you come out, let's go have dinner before you fly back to Europe. Obviously, I accepted, great guy. I even consider this gentleman a friend. Long story short, he took me to Robert Kiyosaki's favorite restaurant in Singapore. And he said, Arnon, I'm going to treat you. I'm going to take you to Robert Kiyosaki's, because he knows Robert really well. They're really close. They're good friends. I'm going to take you to Robert Kiyosaki's favorite restaurant in Singapore. I said, great, let's go. I mean, Singapore, right? Let's, wherever you want to go. So long story short, we get to the restaurant, we're ordering food, and he says, listen, you've got to try Robert's favorite dish. And he orders one of Robert Kiyosaki's favorite dish. Alongside what else we ordered. And then this gentleman, he asked me a question. He said to me, Arnon, what is, and this question changed everything. This question changed the trajectory of my life. So listen closely. We're sitting at the table, there's food on the table, he looks me in the eye, he stops eating, he looks me in the eye, and he says to me, Arnon, what is your $100 million idea? And he went silent. And guess what happened? So did I. I went silent. And I didn't have an answer. I sat there without an answer. And some of you who know me, I'm a person who can talk. I can speak. I sat there speechless. I couldn't open my mouth. I actually realized that as much as I was an entrepreneur and loved entrepreneurship and building and growing and acquiring, buying businesses, I actually didn't have a $100 million idea. I didn't have the $100 million plan that I was going to execute or was executing. And because of this, I took a step back and I started to ask myself, what is my $100 million idea? What is my $100 million idea? Now, not because I'm over attached to the amount or because I need the money, but just because I'm playing a game in life, me personally, where I want to see how far I can go. Jim Rohn, one of my teachers, he always said, Jim Rohn, I recommend all of you to check out Jim Rohn. And Jim Rohn, he's no longer with us, but Jim Rohn always said, if you can do more, should you do more? If you could play a bigger game, should you play a bigger game? If you could add more value, should you add more value? If you can contribute more, should you contribute? And he always says, of course. That's how he talks, right? Of course. And so I'm always pushing the boundaries in terms of my perspective. How big a game can I play? How much can I contribute? How much value can I add to the marketplace? How many people's lives can I touch? How much light can I bring into the universe, right? So I sat there speechless. I didn't have an answer. I got back to Europe and I started to ask myself, what's my $100 million idea? How do I add tremendous value? What's my $100 million idea? And it took me time to get there. And I came across ideas and I started to develop my $100 million idea. Some of you know I'm big now into M&A, mergers and acquisitions. Long story short, I'm actually buying companies. I'm buying multi-million pound companies in the UK. It's called a buy and build, where you buy them together, you put them together, and then eventually you sell them either to a pension fund, an insurance fund, PE, private equity, or you might even do an IPO, okay? But that's a different story, okay? Why am I telling you this? Because the two most important questions that I realized that I needed to ask myself that would empower me to get to $100 million were these two questions that I want to share with you. And these two questions you can apply to any area of your life. And if you apply them to your life and you apply them openly and you go and seek the answers, the rewards are limitless. Let me say that again. The treasures that come with answering these two questions that I'm going to share with you in a moment, these two questions, by answering these two questions, the treasures that we can receive are limitless, endless. So here's the two questions. The two questions that I'm constantly asking myself, and I was actually in a boardroom session a couple of days ago in Belgium, working with a very big client of mine, and they want to take their company. I'm their strategist. I coach the business. And this specific business, they want to take it to 250 million euros. Now, just to put into perspective, I've got clients that I work with, some of them doing, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700,000 euros. Clients doing 1, 2, 3, 4 million. My biggest clients do 400 million. So just to put into perspective, because some of you might be, oh, what's he talking about? So I coach a very interesting group and diverse group of entrepreneurs and business leaders. So this specific group that I was with them a couple of days ago in Belgium, they want to take the company to 250 million. Great. And I asked them these two questions that I'm going to share with you. And I want you guys to really think about these questions, because these two questions have changed my life. They've added so much dimension to me as a person. So here's the two questions I want you to ask yourself. The first question is, who do you have to become? I'll say that again. It sounds simple, but stay with me. The first question is, who do you have to become? It's like everybody wants to be financially free. Everybody wants to create wealth. So the question is, who do you have to become as a person to attract financial freedom? Who do you have to become as a person to attract wealth? If you want the love of your life, if you want to attract the most amazing woman or maybe the most amazing man, this question applies as well. Who do you have to become to attract that love, to attract that person into your life? You see, everybody's looking for the answers outside. But the answers, my friends, are inside. Everybody's looking outside. Oh, she's got to do this, or he's got to do that, and she's got to... No. Whatever you want to achieve, take a step back, right? You are here. This is your goal. You want to get here. You are here. You want to get here, right? This is where you want to get to. The key question is, if you are currently at this place, in your life, in your health, in your business, in your money, in your relationships, if you are here and you want to get here, then the key question is, if you want to close the delta, if you want to close the gap, one of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is, if I want to go from here to here, who do I have to become? Who do I have to become? And make a list. Write down 10 things. Who do I have to become? I have to become a person of integrity. I have to become a person of value. I have to become a person that's disciplined. I have to become a person that's passionate. I have to become a better leader. I have to become a visionary. I have to become a reader, because readers are leaders. I need to become someone that's more open. I've got to become someone that's never quitting. So the key question is, who do you need to become? Whatever you're trying to achieve, wherever you're trying to go, ask yourself, if I am here and I want to get here, who do I have to become to get here? That's the first question. Who do I have to become? And here's the second question. How am I going to do it? Because it's not enough to say, oh, I have to become this person. Have a great day. No. You have to go always one step deeper. So the first question is, who do you have to become? Who do I have to become? And then the second question is, how am I going to do it? How am I going to get there? Because knowing who you have to become is important. But when you identify how you're going to do it, oh, how am I going to do it? Well, I'm going to study, master, read, study, master, one book a month like crazy. I'm going to and there's some great books out there, right? So, a smart man learns from his mistakes, but a wise man learns from other people's mistakes. A wise man learns from other people's knowledge, from other people's experience, right? Most successful people have stood on the shoulders of other giants and learned from their path, from their experiences, from their mistakes. So the first question is, who do you have to become? Right? In whatever area you want to become more in. I want a bigger business. I want more income. I want to create more wealth. Great. Who do you have to become? First question. Second question, how are you going to do it? How are you going to become that person? Well, I'm going to take more seminars. I'm actually going to, read more books. I'm going to jump out of an airplane with a parachute, because that's going to stretch me. It's going to take me completely out of my fucking comfort zone, and I'm going to be yelling and screaming, but I got to calm that little voice that is always trying to scare me and control me. I have to put that so how are you going to do it? So my friends, how to go to 100 million, how to achieve the relationship of your life, how to achieve how to attract the love of your life, how to create the health, the body you want. First question, who do you have to become? Number one. And number two, how are you gonna do it? Good. Great. I hope you guys got some value out of this session. If you enjoyed it, it's going to go up on the wall soon, on Instagram, on Facebook. Give it a like, share it with people, tag it. Excited to be here next week, same place, same time. Come to you live. Another great topic we've got lined up for you guys. So do me a favor. I come to give you value. I come to serve. I come from an energy of kindness and light. Tag one person that needs to hear this. Tag one person that needs some support. Tag one person that needs a kick up the ass. Tag one person that maybe needs a hug. Tag one person, my friends. Let's spread as much light as possible in 2022. So until next week, I'm sending you all warm regards. Stay strong, stay powerful, stay passionate, and see you guys next week. Peace out. Cheers.